Hello and thanks for watching Gary Teaches Maths. I'm continuing to go through the Edexcel higher tier paper from 2019. This is paper 1 and we're on question 10. So this is a question where we've got two graphs that have been drawn here. So we've got 3y plus 2x equals a half and 2y minus 3x equals a minus 113 over 12. And what we've got to do is we've got to use these graphs in order to solve these two simultaneous equations, which are the graphs that have been drawn. So it's a very simple matter of the solution is the coordinate of the point where the graphs cross. So it's actually the coordinate here. So all we need to do is just project this point up to the x coordinate on the x-axis, and that gives us approximately 2.2. So we could say the x value there is 2.2, and similarly we need to project across to the y coordinate here. Actually, you'll be using a ruler if you do this, and you get a slightly more accurate drawing. So I would say that's about negative 1.3 there. So we've got y equals negative 1.3. So there we go. That is our answer. And it says here it's an estimate. And that is why it's an estimate, because obviously we can't find these exactly. It's simply by eye where we think the closest to this point is, which we're doing by drawing these straight lines. Just further to this, how do we know which one of these is which one of these two equations? So I'm just going to look into that. This is a bit extra on this question. We've actually already completed it. So you could stop watching the video at this point because that's enough. But just to be able to distinguish between which one of these two equations is this one and which one of these two equations is this one. So I'm going to look into that now as well. So if we take the second of the two equations, we've got 2y minus 3x equals minus 113 over 12. What I'm going to do is attempt to put it into the form y equals mx plus c. That's very useful because in that form, m equals the gradient, which is the slope of the line, and c is called the y-intercept. And what that is the point where it crosses the y-axis. So anywhere along this y-axis here, the curve or the straight line will cross it. So it's the y-intercept. So for example, this line here, this with a negative gradient, would have a y-intercept of around 0.15, which is the value there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange this equation and try and put it into this form. So the first thing I could do would be to add 3x to both sides. And what I would get is I'd get 2y equals 3x minus 113 over 12. Then what I could do to make it a y on its own is just simply divide through by the 2. I have to divide every part of this by 2. And I'd end up with, dividing by 2, divide by 2. I'd end up with just y on the left, and I'd end up with 3 over 2x. And if I divide by 2 on this fraction, that's actually equivalent to multiplying the denominator or the bottom part of the fraction. So that would go to 113 over 24. So one of the first things we could do in analysing this is we could see that m, the gradient, is 3 over 2, which is 1.5. So that means it's got a positive slope. And just looking at these two graphs, we can see this one has got negative gradient. And this one has positive gradient. In which case, that would mean that this one is the one with this equation. This is the 2y minus 3x equals minus 113 over 12. So that's that one. Minus 3x equals minus 113 over 12. We could do a similar analysis for the other one. I'll do this over here. So if we take 3y plus 2x equals a half, again, I'm going to try and put it into this form, y equals mx plus c. So what I'll do is I'll take away 2x from both sides, and we've got 3y equals minus 2x plus a half. Now I'm going to divide through by 3. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Remembering that every part of the right-hand side has to be divided by 3. I would end up with y on its own there, and with minus 2/3 of x, and then plus, and if I divide this half by 3, again I can use the trick of just multiplying the denominator by 3, and that gives me 1/6. And so from this we can see that we're expecting the gradient to be minus 2/3, which is, in other words, that's a negative slope. So a slope like that, going downwards as opposed to upwards. So we can see that fits in with the other line on this graph. And also, we're expecting that C, which is the intercept, would be equal to 1/6, which is 1/6 is actually, as a decimal, 0.16 recurring, or 0.166 going on forever. So 0.16 recurring. So we can see that does actually match up with what I'd estimated there as 0.15. It's very close. So we can see that this one then is the one with the equation 3y plus 2x equals a half. So that's it really. We've done it, that question, and I hope that's been helpful to you. If it has, we'd love it if you would like our video and subscribe to our channel, which is Gary Teaches Maths. And for more help, you could visit our website, which is bestmathstutors.co.uk. Thanks for watching.